Yeah, I just wanted to just give a quick shout out. In case you didn't know that David Fincher was the man, you can just look down to the right and look at his awards. Hey, what's going on? Syntell with the Intel, and I am here with another Inside the Animation for Bad Traveling. This is another one of the fan favorites for season 3 of Love, Death, and Robots. Now, we have all been like super fans of this, but we kind of want to know like what's the inspiration, what's the motivation behind the story, and how all of this stuff is done. This series has been so much fun. We did one on Jabaro not too terribly long ago. There should be a link in the description if you want to catch up on that one as well. So, without any further ado, go ahead and give us a thumbs up and let's get started.
Syntell Reacts.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed the series so far. Bad Traveling.
I love any story where the entire cast dies. We're gonna get to feed them all to a giant crab.
Yeah, he starts off just off the cuff. I like a story when everybody dies.
Fantastic.
I love how this is based on like an alien planet too. That was a great start.
Bad Traveling was one of the first shorts that I
David
read.
Fincher.
Good God,
Legend.
15 years ago, something like that.
15
And
years ago.
I thought it would be fun. I think people will relate to the idea of having a truly miserable job, being tossed at sea and then fed to crustaceans.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Stories reveal themselves to you. This is a 19-minute short. It's the longest.
Yeah, I just wanted to just give a quick shout out. In case you didn't know that David Fincher was the man, you can just look down to the right and look at his awards.
One that we've done thus far. I want to start right in the middle of the action, so I need to it needs to make sense visually and from a character standpoint, what this world is and how it's working.
So, now that we've
The
chosen
look on his face.
a leader, I will be picking who goes.
It's really amazing just to see how inspired
Jennifer
and
Yu
just
Nelson.
fanatical they are, David Fincher and Tim Miller, about the show and about animation. They love this process, and to see them smile and just when they see shots come in or, footage from studios come in from around the world and they're looking at it and they're sharing it.
I just wanted to just take a quick moment. I always like seeing like the before and after, like the pre-rendered scenes. And then I love when they give us an opportunity to take a look and see like directly how much work and effort has gone into. So we're seeing all of the characters, but then look at all of this. Like they take just this basic design
Footage from
and then they add so much beauty to it.
studios come in from around the world and they're looking at it and they're sharing it with each other on their phones. They're just having such a great time of it. And that's very infectious.
I'm much more comfortable in a live action environment. But, it's basically the same kind of tools, except you can change people's facial reactions, which helps because you can go, that thing he does here, that's really great. Let's pull it up about 6 seconds.
If you were to say, what makes animation film? My easy answer would be when the greatest living, arguably one of the greatest living filmmakers of all time, says, I'm going to spend my time making an animated film, that should tell you that medium has arrived.
That's a really good point because, recently a lot of flack has been coming, especially regarding like awards and during award season of how animated properties have not been getting their just due, their just respect. There's been some people that don't consider it on the same level as just the traditional cinematic experience when you're dealing with actors. But as we've been seeing and watching over and over again, that this animation space is growing by leaps and bounds. I think one of the great people to really blend that cinematic and animated experiences like James Cameron with the Avatar series that was done back in the day, and it's still arguably, I think it's like a top 5 highest grossing movie of all time still to this day, maybe even higher than top 5, maybe like in the top 3. But that is a good indicator of how well this format has been picked up.
No, it was interesting working with Blur because I do think that Jen and Tim have built an environment where people want to take risks and they want to show up and they want to do something they haven't done before and they want to try this. It can go in any direction.
So disturbing.
To hear him talk about camera and to talk about his shot philosophy is literally like going to film school. You know, you learn so much, and everybody in the whole process in the studio, as they were hearing him give notes on camera, on lighting, on just every single detail, everybody said it was literally like having a little masterclass in whatever subject that they were in. So.
Oh man, all right, I just wanted to pause right there and kind of go back a little bit because she's already breaking down why this art form should be respected and all of the effort, because some of the same principles of photography that you see in traditional cinema are being maintained in the animation space. I saw this cool little breakdown of all of the different layering with some of the particles and stuff. Like, look at this, the composition, the volume pass, the different type of particle passes that you're seeing that make and give like the atmosphere so much life to make you feel that you are on a ship. Look at this. But let's go back and listen to her just one more quick moment regarding some of the cinematic techniques that are being applied to the animation space.
So much. And everybody in the whole process in the studio, as they were hearing him give notes on camera, on lighting, on just every single detail, everybody said it was literally like having a little masterclass in whatever subject that they were in. So everybody got to be better.
You know, Netflix couldn't be more supportive. Here's the funds, get to work. Here's 90 of the most talented people you'll ever meet who are all gonna help you. And let's make something weird.
Make something weird. Gracious, please. Great action. Look at this. All of that effort.
People should know that the next volume has every chance of being even weirder than anything you thought it was going to be. My hope is that we never get to a point where we have succinctly defined what LDR is. That would be boring.
I like that. I like that. That makes me really excited about the future of Love, Death, Robots. That was good. All right, so when I was a kid, there was this show called Liquid Television that used to come on MTV, and it was one of the very first times that I got a chance to see like anthologies of animated projects come together, and it was always cool because you never knew what you were going to see visually. It's like the limits on animation are far less than the limits of what can be practically done on a cinematic stage. And for Fincher to be like, yo, we're gonna try and push the boundaries so that you never know how deep the weird bubble can get, right? I want to hear that. That's good. The stranger, the better. You know, as long as you got the fundamentals of storytelling being told, you know, let's really like peel our brains all the way back and just allow the art to just really flourish. I do think personally, because I'm a super fan of animated projects, I do think that there is a higher ceiling regarding animation, and the blending of animation and traditional cinematography, I think, is an inevitable like head-on collision that's going to happen, especially when you see like technology that uses stuff like deep fakes, right? Like we had like, what was it? A hologram Tupac like 5-6 years ago, maybe even longer than that. And it was like pretty convincing. And they said something in here that was pretty interesting regarding like if an actor gives a certain facial gesture, it's stuck in that moment in that space and you kind of have to run with it. Whereas like in the animated world, whatever that facial a gesture or that moment that is being created, it can be taken and moved to an even bigger moment within the framework of the art. And I think if I'm going to put on like my little tinfoil hat and project into the future, what I think the future of cinema is going to be, it's going to be this mesh, right? We're going to see like deep fake versions of people that maybe already passed. Like, you know, you may see another reincarnation of Marlon Brando, and it's going to be so well done that you will not be able to tell the difference. And you'll be able to manipulate that actor or that piece of art, that asset, in a way that can even push the limits of what even Marlon Brando is even capable of doing. I see it happening like that. It's an inevitability. I know we did a review on the behind the scenes of Jabaro, and I know I'm probably saying that incorrectly, so please, I apologize for that if I'm insulting anybody, but there's moments in there where, especially like with some of the movement, where the movement is indiscernible from what you would see in real life. Now, don't get me wrong, some of the moments in some of the animation, when you look at it and you're like, oh yeah, that's definitely animated, but we are really heading to that surreal space. We're already there in a lot of ways, but imagine how crazy it's going to be, like maybe even like, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, and then like really blow your mind and think about where that space is going to be like 20 years from now. We're going to be looking back on projects like this, like Bad Traveling, and be like, yo, that's where we knew it was going to really start moving. And you're seeing huge directors like David Fincher, who is putting the cinematic process and the cinematic steps within this art form. It's really, truly exciting. That's why I've been such a huge fan of Love, Death, and Robots. That's why I was a little concerned when Netflix had made the decision that they were going to cut a big chunk of their animation section out because, the platform wars and, not everybody's going to make it out alive. But David Fincher he carries enough weight and promise that I'm hoping that this series continues and they continue to push the limits and the boundaries. And we ain't even get into the other conversation of when, the cinematic experience blends in with the animation world, and then blend that in with like gaming, right? Like it's so many different levels of where this art form can go. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out. If you had any questions or ideas of where you think the future of animation is going to go, or even more specifically, just some of the cool things that we've seen in Bad Traveling, of course, drop those in the comments before. I love talking this, and if you enjoy kicking it with me, talking all of this as well, make sure you hit that subscription button, and of course, give me the thumbs up, because that's how the algorithm knows you're digging what I'm giving you. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.